All right, wanted to take a look at the new patch notes, patch 12.15. Just wanted to go over them and see what all the changes are. Um, it looks like it looks like there are quite a few changes. We'll see how big the changes are, but we'll just kind of go through them one by one and try to stay up to date with everything. Um, So it looks like they're giving energy-based champions a little boost, doing some follow-up tuning to Master Yi and Sivir, buffing some engage supports, um, nerfing Divine Sunder and First Strike. And so those seem to be the highlights. Um, Sounds okay so far to me. Looks like there will be some new skins. Monster Tamer, Lulu, Vigar, and Zapmaul are coming out, which they look pretty cool, pretty colorful. All right, we got Akali here. Looks like she's gotten a little buff with her energy, her W. It's going to restore a little bit more energy. It's going to increase her energy. So I don't know about that. I don't know if Kali really needs a buff. She's always seemed pretty strong to me, but she got a little buff. Gwen, the Q true damage conversion is decreased. So it looks like the true damage in the center of her Q is being reduced from 75% to 50%. Probably a needed nerf on her. Sounds like players were laning with her easier, but probably the pros were just too strong with her. So that's sounds reasonable. Callista base attack damage decreased. Looks like a real small little nerf there from 69 to 66. Seems like this was geared towards pro play. So just a little nerf there on her. Probably won't affect solo queue too much. Kennen cooldown decreased early for the W, magic damage increased, R ability power scaling increased. So yeah, it looks like Kennen got a buff. Again, another champion in the right hands that's always been pretty strong. Seems like Kennen's been struggling for different reasons than the other energy things that they were trying to target this patch. Seems like he's maybe been having trouble against the bruisers and the tanks, the durable targets. So yeah, little buff for Kennen. W cooldown decreased just a touch. Magic damage increased, and the ult increased. Looks like just kind of a very light touch buff, but I think that'll really help the Kennen players out there. Lee Sin, QW and E reactivation energy cost decreased. It looks like, yeah, it just looks like they're decreasing his energy costs, so he's just going to basically get more abilities cast in team fights. So yeah, little buff to Lee Sin again. Not sure if he really needs it, kind of like Akali, but yeah, gonna probably be seeing More Lee Sin, stronger Lee Sins soon. Leona, Q mana cost decreased at all ranks. R crowd controlled duration increased. So, okay, the R is going to stun a little bit longer. And the Q is going to cost a little bit less mana. Again, just a real light touch here. That seems to be the theme for this. The theme for this patch so far. It should help the Leona players for sure. Should help them a little bit. That R stun is going to be really annoying for sure. Lilia, passive damage cap against monsters increased. Looks like they're trying to buff her up in the jungle. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, she might be kind of fun. More fun to play in the jungle now. Goes from 40 to 100 up to 50 to 150. Yeah, that's probably going to help her in the jungle pretty well. Seems like all the Lilias I've gone against have been pretty strong. So, I don't know. Should make her more fun to play in the jungle. Yeah, I might try her. Master Yi, E cooldown no longer decreases with rank. So a little nerf on Master Yi. Looks like his E is gonna take longer to be available later in the game. It's not gonna be up as often. Looks like some people were maxing E first as well. Qiyana, passive bonus attack damage scaling decreased. First strike bug removed. Looks like Qiyana's been really strong lately, partly due to a bug. They're nerfing first strike, and they're also going to take some power out of her passive. Okay. So yeah, just fixed a little bug, it sounds like, and decreased her passive a little bit, just to kind of bring her down a little bit. So okay, it's good that they fixed the bug for sure. Rammus. Looks like they're buffing Rammus a little bit. They feel like he's a little bit weak right now. Our cooldown adjusted, base cast range increased. Okay, so the cooldown on his R decreased. Looks like he's gonna have some more range on it. The dash range growth. Okay. Yeah, it looks like they just really buffed up his R quite a bit, which I think that's pretty cool. I'd like to see more tanks in the game. Give the tanks a better chance of carrying some games. So that'll be nice. Shen, E passive energy refund increased late. So again, with this whole energy situation, it looks like they're trying to give people, the energy champions, more energy. So on his E, he's gonna have a little bit more energy. So again, another little buff for Shen. I have been seeing a fair amount of Shen as it is, just like I've been seeing a fair amount of Akali and Lee Sin. So we'll see how all these buffs play out. Singed, Passive bonus, movement speed increased. Per target cooldown decreased. Our bonus stats increased early. So looks like Singe is going to be even faster than he was. Per target cooldown, I don't know what that is. Yeah, looks like a pretty decent buff for Singed. Again, another champion I've thought was doing okay. Especially with Singed being such a kind of a champion that people main anyways. People who know it really well. Alright. Sivir, attack damage growth decreased. E cooldown increased at all ranks. R cooldown increased at all ranks. Looks like they want her as a hyperscaling AoE marksman. Alright. Looks like they want to nerf a little bit of her late game power. Alright, so just taking down her attack damage growth. The E spell shield, longer cooldown on it, or a longer cooldown. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Yeah, I've been seeing quite a bit of Sivir lately. She's been pretty strong. She's going to be having a little bit less damage. Cooldowns are going to be a little more of an issue for her. Yeah, I like that. Again, a lot of these adjustments seem very small for a lot of these champions. I know that these small adjustments, though, can mean a lot, especially for people who main these champions. But nothing that I'm seeing that's going to completely totally blow me away so far. I mean, as far as champions that I play, the Rammus, I may try playing a little bit more of him. I don't think that's going to really do a ton for me. That all kind of want to try Lilia a little bit more. Maybe Leon a little bit more. Yeah, nothing that really blows my socks off by any means. Where were we? Talia. Looks like they're nerfing Talia a little bit. E cooldown increased. R wall duration decreased. So yeah, the wall isn't going to be up quite as long, and her E is going to have a little longer cooldown. Okay. Yeah, I think that's fair. Again, just little changes that they feel are necessary right now. Thresh. Looks like Thresh is getting a little buff. Just a little buff again. Q cooldown decreased. Magic damage increased. Okay. Yeah, again, they're trying to help out these engaged supports a little bit. The Leona and the Thrush. Zed getting a buff. Wow. Yeah, I mean, Zed is another one of those just champions that feels like he can just be a complete menace. E energy cost decreased. And then his Living Shadow has no range now. Okay. Yeah, I mean, another buff that, you know, it's a champion I already see a lot of. So we'll see how it works out, all these energy buffs. Moving on to the items now. Looks like that's the end of the champions. Again, it just seems like the champions just got kind of light touches. Definitely some energy changes, as they mentioned. Engage support changes. Yeah, basically exactly what they said the highlights were. Okay. All seems okay to me. So far, Divine Sunder looks like it's getting a little bit of a nerf. It's gonna heal a little bit less. Okay. Got it. Mercurial Scimitar. Looks like it's getting a pretty sizable buff here. 10 extra MR, half a second duration. Yeah, that's an item that, you know, it's kind of probably better for more experienced players, higher levels of play, you know, being able to have the Quicksilver type of effect. But yeah, pro players or you know, team play, people would probably try to get their hands on that. Silvermere Dawn. Looks like they're trying to buff it up just a little bit, not quite as much as the Scimitar. Okay. Again, another kind of situational, specialized item. Looks like they are nerfing First Strike. It's been the go-to choice for burst champions. They're reining in its burst potential. Okay, so the bonus true damage went down 1%. Yeah, people are probably still going to use it, but they're just nerfing it a little bit. I think that's fair. The Zaun Cup Clash, whatever that is, I don't know. Looks like that's coming up. Ultimate Spellbook is sticking around. Okay. I guess that's a game mode. Okay, so they did some changes in there. Alright, getting past the ultimate spellbook. Bug fixes. Kali R indicator fixed. Kaiza R. Urgot R. Nico R. Nico R no longer turns the owner invisible. Ari R. Silas R. Annie R. Transformed Kane uses Morgana R. Huh. Yeah, some little bug fixes, I guess. Not sure what all is here. Seems like they're pretty small bugs. Competitive systems changes. Having a pre-made duo is a slight advantage. Apex tier aren't able to duo. The system only works off current rank. With this change, we're tightening up the Apex tier restriction to apply to MMR as well. Not really sure what that means. Climbing Smurfs from being able to duo queue into Apex tier. Okay, so if you've got an MMR correlating to master or above, you'll no longer be able to duo queue, even if your rank isn't master. Okay, yeah, just a way to kind of keep out the duoing in the highest tiers. It's pretty good. Kind of wish they would make duoing less effective throughout the entire system. But that's a pretty good change, definitely for the higher elo. More bug fixes and QOL changes. Lots of little stuff. Okay, so I think that's about it. Seems like a pretty reasonable patch here. Seems pretty good. I like to see the bug fixes on Qiyana for sure. I like to see the first strike nerfed a little bit. Yeah, we'll see how it all plays out. All right.